Alright guys, so we didn't actually get the chance to go to Pride in Manila, which is fine. We had a much better time what we were doing. However, this will be our first time in Pride here in the Philippines, so we're at Liloan. Guys, we don't know what to expect, but we're excited. I mean, we're gay, just so you guys know. So we have to go see what it's all about. Alright, let's go.
This is awesome. I mean, who would have thought that a small town like Liloan would be celebrating us, the LGBT community? It's insane. And you could just feel the energy this morning. Also, it's 7:30 in the morning. So for the LGBT community to be up and doing this early in the morning shows commitment.
But it's also July. July is Nutrition Month, right?
Yes.
Right, there we go.
Are you guys excited for Pride?
Yes.
Yes.
Of course.
How long have you guys been doing the Pride here in Liloan?
Actually, we're preparing this one for 3 weeks.
3 weeks?
Yes.
Okay.
And it happens every year, like normal.
Actually, this is the first time that we...
Oh, no way.
The first time?
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
Okay.
It's important because this is the first
It's
time.
about time then.
Yeah.
Okay, good, good.
I had to step away from all the excitement and just talk about how happy it makes the both of us to see the turnout here at Liloan. It's our first Pride here in the Philippines, as Will said, and it looks like it's about to start. So let's go ahead, get started, and see what it's all about. What's your name?
My name is Jen, all the way from Philippines.
We found ourselves walking in the parade now, and this is awesome.
Yeah, it's our first year having it here. We were just full, and it's not like a huge mega, but guys, it's perfect. It's the right size. It's representing people. It doesn't matter how big. It doesn't matter. People seem to be very responsive along the streets, which is nice, honking, etc., etc. So we're all about it.
And apparently this is a 2-mile parade, so
2 miles. But you know what? We're up for it.
we're all about the pride, love and life.
Love and light.
We're dreamers. We're doing this in our way. We come alive in the nighttime. There's something about how we dance in the moonlight. That look in your eyes, it tells me that you want me and all my loving. We come alive in the nighttime. You and I, we come alive.
Yo, we need to stop in some shade. Because you know how it is here. We just gotta get some relief. This is 2 miles we're gonna be trekking along. So yeah, it's fun. It's good to see people prideful and proud.
It warms my gay little heart to know and see how prideful the community of Liloan is for the LGBT community. There are a lot of allies here, a lot of people in the community just parading down the street, and you can just tell that the locals are very supportive as they stand on the side of the road just cheering on and watching us go as we sweat our way like it's hot.
We come alive. We come alive. We come alive.
We got our workout in this morning and it was awesome.
Guys, it was, again, it might not be the biggest or the grandest to other people, but it matters and it was fun and it's beautiful. And again, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if there's 2 people, 3 people, or 5,000 people. Like, having recognition or support of who you are, and just seeing somebody else like you or an ally, it's important and it's awesome. And I wouldn't change a thing about it.
It makes us happy. It
does.
truly makes us happy to see how a community this small compared to a bigger city still shows the love and support for our community. And power to everyone who put the time and energy into their floats. Like, their floats were awesome.
And they're resourceful and they still look good as heck. Like, it just proves like you just need to be creative and anything's possible.
So we made it to the sports complex where they're gonna open up with the ceremony and they're gonna do the judging for the floats. And let me tell you, I have my favorite.
I
Will
have two
has his
favorites, three favorites. We're gonna see if we can like make our way to the judging panel somehow.
Oh my god, chicken!
We're not, but it's fun. Let's go see what it's about, guys.
To acknowledge our visitors, our YouTubers, Will and Jose. Thank you so much for visiting our lovely town. We truly appreciate your presence in here. I hope you enjoy your time here in Liloan.
Aww, thank you.
So we have here, are you ready? Yeah. Are you guys ready? Woo! We're so excited to know who will win our first ever Mega Week 2022.
It's about to start. It's about to start. It's a seat. Honey, give me everything. Yes. Ah, look at the twirl. Look at the twirl. Wait. She's not letting him have it.
This is wild. People are going crazy.
Serving hooks, serving spins, serving twirls. Honey, it is all here.
Work. Will and I,
Honey.
we would be such dance moms. We would be super, super competitive in this category.
Oh, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Look at her.
Okay.
She's gonna give you a little bit more light.
Mine.
You're beautiful, but you're beautiful. That's all I have.
All the judging, the hooting and the hollering got us hungry. And we're so amazed by the fact that they're providing food for all the spectators, the judges, and everyone who participated. So they got... It's not bad. There we go. They got us pancit and empanadas, and it's la meat. La meat.
And before that, we were just sitting there. People came up to us, asked about our channel. We were talking, got to know her. Her name's Mecca. She's so sweet. So if you see this video, thank you for your kindness. Like, honestly, it means a lot to us. And then they offered us waters and burgers out of nowhere. Like, come on. The hospitality of Filipino people, we can say it over and over and over again, but to experience it, guys, it's insane. Like, in the best way possible. Judgment time. Da, 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 da. Time's come, guys.
Begin the drum roll.
10, 9, 8, 7. No, I'm just kidding. Let's go see who won. We're excited, so. Any bets?
I think Buster 7's gonna win.
Thank you so much for that. Entry number 16.
Congratulations, by the way. You're amazing. Congrats.
So our friend here in Liloan introduced us to Ricky here, and I figured we'd give Ricky the time to talk about what's happening here in Liloan because it's truly like amazing.
Okay. So what just happened, right? You just witnessed the culmination of our Pride Month, which was last month, June. So we had we saw the Sagala, the beautiful ladies dressed in with all the flowers and what have you. And also I initiated a program for the Purok Pride wherein all members of the Purok, or the Puroks here, you'll get to find out what is a Purok. So I initiated the Purok Pride where they had to decorate this center with the rainbow colors, just to show pride and love for all that LGBT. And at the same time, just so you have witnessed, we have also launched the Nutrition Month. Here in the Philippines, Nutrition Month is always July. Of course, we have to be conscious about nutrition and health here for our kids. And tonight we're going to be witnessing more.
Oh yeah.
We're excited.
We're gonna put on our dancing shoes. Well, I'll try
Our
to.
stilettos, our fancy stilettos, yes.
Oh, as you have seen earlier, there were a lot of stilettos.
There's a lot of
And pretty woman
stilettos.
boots.
Yeah. No kitten heels.
No kidding
kidding.
whatsoever. How has the town been with the acceptance of LGBT?
All right, so it started, well, here in Asia, basically, the LGBT community has always been tolerated, acknowledged, a little bit tolerated and acknowledged, but with our present mayor, 6 years ago, she has included everybody. There was already inclusivity for everyone, not just the regular citizens, but also the senior citizens, the LGBT community, the youth. So we were blessed with a mayor who is very progressive.
Good.
And got into the idea of being inclusive.
Right.
So that's why we are putting highlight. Or the government right now in Liloan is putting highlight and accepting the LGBT community.
We've never really talked about our own personal stories. I'm kind of a late bloomer in terms of coming out. I didn't come out until I was like 27. Here's the thing. At a very early age, at age, 3, 4? I was going to Kmart every Friday and my parents would let me pick out a toy, correct? Every toy I picked out was either a Barbie or a My Little Pony. My mom didn't care, my dad didn't care. In fact, my dad would take me to this one store after school every Wednesday or something. It's like a resale shop. And he would specifically point out the My Little Ponies. Like, I will never forget that at all. I grew up in a small town, so we didn't really there were a couple gay people, openly gay people there, but it was like, they were older. So you didn't really there was no comfort in being who you are. Like, you're always scared that, you know how people, because when you're in school, kids are saying, oh, that's so gay, they talk down on everything. And I'm already one of very few black people in the entire community, which they were very kind to me and accepting. My point is, I already stand out, and now let me add that layer of funness to it. But I came out 27 to my mom. I actually came out to my nephew and my sister first, and they're like, okay, they already knew it. So thank God I grew up in a home that was very accepting. I came out to my mom. I called her on the phone while I was waiting for my sister outside, and she's like, okay. I'm like, Mom, I'm gay. And then she started crying, and then I started crying. And she's like, I love you, just come home. So I went home. She came outside to the car, got in the car, and then she just gave the biggest hug, and we were just crying, and we went to go get dinner, and just drove around talking about it. I never got to tell my dad that I was, or had that conversation with him before he passed. But he knew. He kind of alluded to it before he passed away. That he knew and he loved me for who I was, which is really great. And I guess the worst part of it is, guys, is that I wish I would have said something earlier, but I didn't because I was scared of everybody else, when the reality is it's the people that are closest to you that I value their opinion more than anybody else's. So I grew up in a home that's very accepting, very loving. So looking back, I wish I would have said something much earlier. And even if they didn't accept me for who I was at the moment, I know for a fact I would have at some point. If you knew my mom, especially, you knew I could do no wrong whatsoever. Rest in peace, Mom. Rest in peace, Dad. I love you guys.
My story started at a young age. I came out at the age of 18, but it wasn't intentional. It was on a day when I was out with my friends and my brother was playing with my iPod. Yeah, iPod. And he found an app on there, a gay dating app. I'll let you guys answer that. And he took the iPod to my mom, just, not knowing what it was. And from there on, later that evening, when I walked into my home, I got a different feeling, the environment was somewhat hostile. And all I heard my mom say is hey, your dad wants to talk to you when you get home, or when he gets home from work. later that night. So he had dinner, and soon afterwards he called me up to the front of the living room. And if you guys know, Latinos are very strict. They're very stuck to their ways in their religion. Being Catholics, it's a sin to be part of the LGBT community. So when he brought it up to me, there was a lot of disappointment and grief on his end, because it felt like he was the one that failed the family for not raising me to be the man that I should have been. And it was very hard because they didn't understand at that time, and it was right before I was going to college. So that summer I was put on like very strict rules of who I hung out with, who I went out with, and so on and so forth. And it took about 6 years for them to finally understand who I was, and that was just by seeing how happy I was with my job, what I was doing. I was living on my own. No, I wasn't living on my own. I was living with them. But they knew that I was seeing someone, and I kept Will as a secret for like 5 years. 5 years? 6 years.
5.
So they kind of insinuated who I was, and we didn't really talk about it. All they said is like, as long as you're happy, we're happy for you. That's all we want in life. And to hear those words felt really invigorating, because that's all a child wants to hear from their parents. It took them a while, but I guess it was also, they needed time to understand what it meant to be part of the LGBT community. And as long as they see me happy, then they'll be happy for me. Yeah.
All right, guys, so we showed you the parade, which is amazing. So now we're going to show you some of the paroques, so you can see the pride and all of that.
Just so you guys know, a paroque is a smaller district within a neighborhood. So every district, every paroque had the opportunity to show their pride by some form of art. And we're gonna see some of them, and yeah, just see the love that they put out.
All right, let's go chase those rainbows. Let's go chase the rainbows.
Rainbows and unicorns.
Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss out. I'm done living life with the lights out, die with my own doubts. Be free with me. Be free. Be free with me. Be free.
This was a nice surprise. Like, the president of this paroque invited us here, like, kind of come see all of their decorations and their showing of pride.
And she's gonna tell us a little bit more about the LGBT community initiative within their district and show us what they've been up to as far as the resources and activities they have going on for the children here. Honestly, like, it's great to see it at a smaller scale of how accepting and welcoming they are to the community and how they want these children to be safe here in Liloan.
This is only built a month ago. So
This? Oh my gosh.
This is a new Purok actually. Welcome to Purok South. It's like Chuma, they said, be yourself too. That's one of the art. And then they have also came up with the Pride Month. And this one, they said we should not be ashamed because we should love each other.
What is
Look,
this? These are all
eggshells.
What? Oh, really? Okay. You guys take the cake on being very resourceful.
Oh, you have
Eggshells.
not seen the cake.
Oh my God,
We
I
did
love
also
this.
I grew up, we were very resourceful. We didn't have a lot, so we had to use whatever you could use. So like, this warms my heart because it just shows you don't need like lots of money to be creative or show something. Like, it's all around us, literally.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What made us like really happy yesterday was to see all these young Filipino boys and girls represent the community, and whether they're part of the community or just allies, to know that like this is the direction the Philippines is going with.
We were geeking out, so we appreciate it a lot.
And it's just gonna get bigger, bigger, and bigger every
and
year.
we will be doing this every June or is it going to be every June?
June is always Pride Month.
Yes, so I think we will start to be innovating more, upgrading whatever we have the
Right.
previous month because we want to be number one.
Number 3? No, we're number 1 now. We're number 1. All All right, guys, that concludes our first Pride in the Philippines.
It took us by surprise, to say the least. I mean, we didn't have the highest expectations while we were here, knowing that it's a small town, but they showed out, and just to see it in a smaller scale really shows like the improvement that's happening within communities for supporting the LGBT community, and that just makes me happy.
I think the best takeaway from it all is that we've been to Pride events before in Chicago, and they are massivo. Like, they do everything. But you don't, I think with the Liloan, the smaller festival, is that you get to actually see what it's all about. I don't know if that makes sense, but my point is you get to see the actual community members that are involved face to face. You got to learn about why they're doing it, how it's with the community, the people that are actually fighting for these programs in the community. It was just a more intimate thing, and we had the best time. We had the best time. I felt very like a proud parent the entire time, even though I had nothing to do with it whatsoever.
And we're gonna take that parent very literal, because there was a dance later in the evening, and by 9:30 we left the Megala. Like, we were so tired.
I'm like, we're dads here. Everybody else is so young, and like, we just look like dads.
Yeah.
We're not cool. And a really quick shout out to Carmen, who is the president of the Proc Rosas. Yes, Rosas means rose, right?
Yes.
Okay, yes. Thank you so much for inviting us to your community to come see what the youth put together to show their pride for the Proc. It was so resourceful, and we love what you're doing, and we hope every other community can like follow you suit and bring that to their communities as well.
At the end of the day, we couldn't be any more proud for the Filipino community here in Liloan for their support in our community, and I'm encouraging everyone out there to show their support, not just the month of June, but year round, because hey, we're gay year round, not just in the month of June.
Yeah, I mean, if it shut off, Jose would not even exist after June or before June. No, I'm kidding, but like, thank you. And to anyone that out there that sees us, whether you're gay, straight, whatever, ally, thank you. If you are someone like that's gay, LGBTQ plus community, be you, be weird, be feminine, be masculine, whoever you are, be you. There will always be people that advocate for you. There will always be somebody out there that will like be your friend, that has love for you. Be you at the end of the day. And if people don't accept you, that's fine, because there's so many people that will do it. And this little community has shown us that they're where you least expect it. So yeah.
As Lady Gaga once said, you were born this way, baby.
We're not referencing her. We only reference Britney on this channel. But we'll reference her because the song's really good. And that makes sense. But yeah, thank you to everybody that participated. Thank you for letting us be there. We feel like we're part of it, even though we contributed nothing. But yeah, thank you.
And thank you for tagging along with us. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification for next week's video.
Yeah, thanks guys. We love you.
Guys. We love you.
Oh, wait, that one guy did a really cool heart. Oh my god, this is the coolest heart ever. Is it showing up in camera?
Be free with me.